8 essential fundamentals of the Stoic philosophy. One of the great things about Stoicism is that it's a practical philosophy. That means you can take its simple ideas and use them in your daily life. When you have to make choices, big or small, you can turn to Stoicism's main ideas. If you're going through tough times, you can use Stoic principles to help you change your focus to what you can control. Whether you're new to philosophy or just want a refresher on Stoicism, we'll explore 8 fundamental Stoic ideas today that can help you organize your life. Number 8. Live by virtue. The highest good, according to the Stoics, is achieving virtue. But what exactly is meant by virtue? In simple terms, it means excelling and flourishing in alignment with our rational human nature. Living virtuously leads to a good life. And this excellence takes various forms, known as the 4 cardinal virtues. The first cardinal virtue is wisdom or prudence, which involves making excellent decisions, having good judgment, a broad perspective, and common sense. The second is justice or fairness, characterized by kindness, benevolence, public service, and fair dealings. Courage or fortitude, the third virtue, entails bravery, perseverance, honesty, and confidence. The fourth virtue is self-discipline or temperance, which encompasses self-control, orderliness, forgiveness, and humility. When one acts in accordance with these virtues, they make progress toward eudaimonia, the ultimate goal of life or the good life. Therefore, the key to living a good life is the perfection of reason and living a virtuous life. The Stoics believed that true virtue involves practicing all the virtues. It's an all-or-nothing package. For instance, if someone displays courage throughout the day but indulges in excessive drinking at night, they cannot be considered truly virtuous because they break the virtue of self-discipline. Virtue, in the Stoic sense, must be a holistic and unwavering commitment. To the Stoics, virtue is its own reward. One should act rightly because it's the right thing to do, aligning with nature, reason, and the cardinal virtues for its own sake. The outcome or rewards shouldn't be the primary motivation for virtuous actions. Doing the right thing is enough, and it's an inherent aspect of one's character and duty. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of both one's character and actions. It's about doing what is right, acting with integrity, and adhering to a virtuous way of life. Sometimes, adhering to virtue may result in additional benefits, such as the feeling of joy from acting fairly. However, these benefits should be seen as secondary and not the primary motive for action because they are beyond our complete control. Number 7. Focus on what you can control. Epictetus wisely said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." Some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. Many of us often spend a lot of time and energy worrying about things that are beyond our control. The Stoics, ancient philosophers, believed that even a fraction of our time spent on such concerns is too much. Why? Because attempting to change things outside our influence is an exercise in futility, diverting our attention from actions we can take. This futile pursuit also leads to unnecessary distress, echoing the teachings of Buddhism that suffering arises from the resistance to pain. Accepting what we cannot change is the rational choice. For instance, if a flight is delayed due to bad weather, no amount of arguing with an airline representative will alter the storm's course. Wishing won't change your height, birthplace, or someone's feelings towards you no matter how hard you try. So it's essential to differentiate between what we can control and what we can't. Focus your energy where you have the power to respond, which usually means working on improving yourself, your thoughts and behaviors, instead of criticizing others. Number 6. Take action. Can I really change my own life? Many things in life are beyond our control, and we might be tempted to adopt an attitude of indifference. Can we just relax, do nothing, and not care about anything? Well, that's what some call the lazy argument, but it's not a philosophy that works for the Stoics. According to Donald Robertson, events are not determined to happen in a particular way, regardless of what you do, but rather along with what you do. The outcome of events still often depends on your actions. In simpler terms, you have control over your own actions. Just sitting back and doing nothing won't lead you to the good life. nor will it make you a good person. While the Stoics viewed external circumstances as indifferent, they were far from indifferent to their own actions. To attain a eudaimonic life in line with virtue, they consistently aimed to do the right thing. Stoics were doers, not passive observers. Stoicism is a highly practical life philosophy. It's not enough to contemplate how to live your life. You must actively apply its principles in the real world. You earn the good life by taking the right actions. Merely acquiring knowledge and discussing abstract ideas about how to live life won't suffice. If you fail to put those ideas into practice, you'll likely end up doing the opposite. To emphasize this point, consider a comparison made by Donald Robertson in his book, The Philosophy of Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. In ancient times, a philosopher was envisioned as a warrior of the mind. They engaged in battles with their own thoughts to achieve self-mastery and actively practiced their philosophy. Today, however, a philosopher is often more like a librarian of the mind, accumulating theoretical knowledge, but failing to put it into practice. As Epictetus wisely remarked, "We might be fluent in the classroom, but drag us out into the practice, and we're miserably shipwrecked." So, don't become shipwrecked by theory. Choose to be a warrior, stepping out into the world to put Stoic philosophy into action. Number 5. Amor fati. This quote by Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, holds a simple but profound message. Instead of wishing events to unfold as we want them to, we should wish for them to occur as they naturally do. This perspective can lead to a smoother and more content life. It's a favorite quote for many, because it offers a recipe for happiness and joy. Consider a situation where something we wish hadn't happened has occurred. What's easier to change, the event itself or our opinion about it? The answer is clear. The event is in the past and unchangeable, but our opinion can be altered. This is where the art of acquiescence from Stoicism comes into play. Accepting what happened rather than futilely resisting. Going beyond acceptance, some Stoics encourage us to embrace and even love what has occurred. Nietzsche coined the term amor fati, which means loving one's fate. The two steps to this approach are accepting that we can't control everything, and that everything that happens is okay, followed by learning to love and find meaning in those events. It might be challenging to feel grateful for something we never wanted, but envisioning a greater power guiding the world can help. Stoics believe that everything, whether desired or unexpected, happens for a reason, serving a greater purpose that we may not yet comprehend. The key is not to resist what unfolds, but to recognize that it happens for us. With this mindset, we remain steady, unshaken by external events. Stoics use a metaphor of a dog leashed to a cart to illustrate this. The dog can either smoothly follow the cart's direction and enjoy the ride, or it can resist and be dragged along struggling the whole way. In life, we are that dog. Faced with choices, when things don't go as planned, we can make the best of the journey, accepting and even finding joy in the events, or we can resist and make our existence more exhausting and miserable. The choice is ours. Number 4. Perception is key. Perception is how we understand and make sense of what's happening around us and the meaning we assign to those events. It's like a powerful force that can either weigh us down like a heavy ball chained to our feet, making us feel weak and limited, or it can be a source of strength and resilience like a magic potion. The way we view the world, our interpretations of life's events, significantly influence the quality of our lives. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, taught us to see external events as neither inherently good nor bad, but rather as indifferent. What truly matters is not the events themselves, which are ultimately beyond our control, but our own judgments about those events. As Marcus Aurelius said, if you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it, and it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. This perspective places the responsibility for our well-being squarely in our hands. We may not control external circumstances, but we do have control over how we choose to perceive and respond to them. Our happiness and peace of mind are not determined by events, but by our judgments of them. When something happens, we automatically form an impression about it. We can't prevent this initial reaction, but we can choose whether to accept it as our final judgment. To gain clarity, we can examine the situation objectively, as if it were happening to someone else. This practice often reveals a more balanced view. For instance, when a friend accidentally breaks a glass, we might think, it's just a glass, but when we do it, we might harshly judge ourselves as clumsy or careless. And if you're on this journey with us, make sure to subscribe to Stoic Legion and click the notification bell to stay updated on the newest Stoic lessons. Number 3, be mindful. If you want to follow a philosophy like Stoicism, it's essential to pay close attention to what you do. Take Stoicism, for instance. If you aim to live a virtuous life by practicing wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, you must be mindful of your actions. This means being fully aware of what you're doing at any given moment. For example, when you're trying to focus on what you can control, practicing a reserve clause, or examining your impressions, you need to be present and self-aware. Mindfulness is a fundamental requirement for practicing Stoicism, and it's a skill that becomes more refined through practice. It works both ways. Practicing Stoicism enhances mindfulness, and being mindful is crucial for Stoic practice. Mindfulness involves monitoring your thoughts and actions as they occur, allowing you to step back from your automatic responses and make more deliberate choices. When you experience an emotion, recognizing it in the moment is crucial. Only then can you decide whether the emotion is helpful and determine the best response. Without this awareness, it's challenging to change your behavior. As Donald Robertson emphasizes, Stoics should be mindful of their volition, their voluntary thoughts and actions, which are the only things entirely under their control. Number 2, eliminate ego. The Stoics, who lived almost 2 millennia before the rise of modern psychotherapy, had a different perspective on the concept of ego compared to Sigmund Freud. According to Ryan Holiday, in his book Ego is the Enemy, they didn't refer to the ego in the Freudian sense, but rather as an unhealthy belief in your own importance. In simpler terms, it's like that inner childish part of yourself that always wants things to go your way and craves recognition. It's an inflated sense of self-importance that goes beyond reasonable confidence and abilities. This ego isn't the same as having confidence in your abilities. That's called self-efficacy. Ego leads to negative traits, like arrogance, stubbornness, and recklessness. It obstructs your path to achieving your goals and building positive relationships with others. It repels opportunities while attracting problems and adversaries. To counter the damaging effects of ego, it's essential to focus on your own work and goals, rather than constantly comparing yourself to others. Avoid showing off on social media or getting caught up in the lives of others through endless scrolling. Instead, live your life according to your values and aspirations, cultivating independent self-esteem. This approach aligns with the Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes personal growth, self-awareness, and humility as key to a more fulfilling and successful life. Number 1, be grateful. Being wise means not feeling sad about the things you don't have, but being happy about the things you do have, as said by Epictetus. The Stoics, though they didn't exactly keep gratitude journals, believed in noticing and valuing the good things in life that we often overlook. One interesting way they promoted gratitude was through a practice they called practicing misfortune. One aspect of this practice involves deliberately subjecting yourself to discomfort, like going without food for a day, taking cold showers, or sleeping on the ground while camping. This discomfort helps you appreciate everyday comforts and develop empathy for those who live with such hardships regularly. Another facet of this technique involves imagining misfortune, like losing your job, home, or a loved one. This exercise can make you more thankful for what you have and prepare you to face challenges. The most profound version of this practice is contemplating your own death, which the Stoics referred to as memento mori, or remember death. It serves 2 purposes: to become comfortable with the idea of your inevitable death, so you don't live in fear of it, and to appreciate the gift of life, encouraging you to live virtuously every day, because life is uncertain. This practice reminds us to be humble and to make the most of the present moment. The essential fundamentals of Stoic philosophy offer timeless wisdom for modern life. From embracing gratitude to mastering adversity, these principles can guide us towards a more balanced and fulfilling existence. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more enlightening content on philosophy and personal growth.